What do we do? What do we do with companies that I have to say are just kind of right in the blast zone of COVID-19, but also ones that can raise enough money to stay solvent through this very tough period? So take Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. It's the smallest of the three major cruise players. We've had them on a number of times. Earlier this week, Norwegian got hammered when the company filed an 8K, that's a government document, where they revealed that they lacked liquidity to pay their obligations over the next 12 months if they didn't raise capital. Stock got clobbered. But it turns out this was part of a disclosure of a successful fundraising process. Norwegian just raised $2.2 billion from the stock and bond markets, including a $400 million secondary offering at $11 a share, $675 million of senior notes with a 12.25% interest rate. That's high. They're not favorable terms. And the cruise business is obviously in rough shape. They can't start operating again at least until July at the earliest. You got to wonder how many customers will come back before we have a coronavirus vaccine. But the going concern risk has been taken off the table, and that's a very big deal. Hence why the stock surged nearly 8% today. So let's take a closer look with Frank Del Rio. He's the president and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, again, on multiple times, to get a better read of the capital raise, what it means for the company's future. Mr. Del Rio, welcome back to Mad Money.
Jim, it's great to be with you.
Okay, so Frank, we want to understand, first of all, what was the investment case you gave to the shareholders and new bondholders when you came calling for money?
Look, we told them the great strength this company has exhibited over the last few years. We're a very, very strong company, as you know well. I've been with you several times in the last few months, and that this COVID-19 situation too shall pass. We've got the youngest fleet in the marketplace. Customers are still booking. It's hard to believe, Jim, but today we are only slightly below in load factors compared to we were this time last year for 2020, for 21 sailing. So our loyal guests are still behind us. Pricings remain strong, and it's a question of how soon we can get back doing what we do best. So look, the subscription was, the offering was oversubscribed nearly 7 times. We were able to upsize it. Not only did we upsize all tranches, but we then triggered all the green shoes. So we actually raised $2.4 billion. Combined with the 1.1 that we already have, gives us over 18 months of liquidity in the event that there is zero revenues. You tell me another company in any industry, much less the travel and tourism, that has that kind of liquidity cushion and that kind of runway to outlast a zero revenue environment for 18 months. So we feel very, very good about the future. We feel very, very good about our customers and our ability to come back. And so yesterday was a great day, Jim.
I have to admit, this is pretty amazing. Now, let me understand. Do you expect to sail in 2020, or is this all for 2021?
No, we expect to sail sometime in 2020. It would be irresponsible for me to give you a specific date because we still have to gain clearance from the CDC and other government agencies. But we're working hard, shoulder to shoulder with them to develop and enhance protocols of every kind you can think of. As you know, we may be, as you may know, we're consulting with Dr. Scott Gottlieb, the former commissioner of the FDA, and he's been very, very helpful. And we believe that together we'll be able to demonstrate to the CDC and other government officials that cruising is indeed safe. Not all cruise lines are created equal. We had a stellar performance when the outbreak first came out. Had only a handful of any kind of cases on board. And so we feel very, very good about our prospects. And now with all that liquidity in the bank, it gives us encouragement and the confidence to go forward.
All right. Well, listen, Frank, I did go over the CDC numbers, and it is true. I mean, you had a much lower rate of COVID. I mean, kind of in line with basically every company in the country as opposed to cruise ship company. Why is that? What were you doing? Because it was pretty stark versus the other cruise companies.
You know, we took immediate action when the virus broke. We denied boarding to anyone who came through China, Hong Kong, Macau, all of Asia. We think that that early action really helped to curb the spread, especially among crew. And then we're very, very proud of our normal procedures in terms of cleanliness and disinfection. We pride I'm a bit of a neat freak, Jim, and my ships are pristine always, and I think that helps. But also we took immediate action when the order came down to cease operations. We took it seriously. We had all our passengers home safe and sound by March 23rd, over a month before many others did. And so all those factors combined allowed us to post the incredible performance that we did. And I think customers, travel agents, and investors, quite frankly, took notice of that cruising can be safe if done correctly.
Okay, so Frank, on March 8th, when the disease was spiraling out of control, the Center for Disease Control did warn Americans to stay away from cruise ships. Did you launch any cruises from or to the United States past that advisory?
Jim, that was a Sunday. Quite frankly, I'm not sure whether we did or not. My guess is we probably did start a cruise or two. But on March 13th, on Friday, March 13th, when the order came down, we were embarking 2 sailings, one out of Miami, one out of Port Canaveral. People were coming on board. They were having lunch. I told my Marine VP, I said, let them have lunch, open up the bar, and when they're done, please escort them off the ship because we're not sailing today.
Got it. That's very important.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we posted the numbers we posted, Jim.
Absolutely. Now, what are you doing in terms of customers? How many customers took advantage of the 125% credit for future cruise, and how many opted for cash with when you guys put out your edict?
Roughly 50-50.
50-50.
And of the 50% who took the future cruise certificates, a little over a third have already booked their cruise primarily for fourth quarter of 2020 and throughout 21.
Well, let me ask you. I looked at the price. I think you did cut some of the prices. They're pretty good, Frank.
Jim, we don't believe in discounting to fill the vessels. Our go-to-market strategy is market to fill. So as I said earlier, we're literally flat to prior years for 21 sailings prior to versus 2020 at the same time, and our pricing is down mid-single digits.
Right. Okay, that's very true. I saw that.
Yeah. Right. So look, there are going to be deals in the marketplace. We're going to have to stay competitive, but we know how to do this, I think, better than anyone else. As you know, year after year, we lead the industry in yield, in ticket yield, and onboard revenue yield. We believe that customers always want value. They don't necessarily want low prices, cheap prices. They want value. And today, what customers want more than anything else, Jim, is to know that they're going to be safe and healthy on board a cruise ship, and we are doing everything humanly possible to accomplish that through the work we're doing with Dr. Gottlieb, the work we're doing with the CDC, and the experience that we've had operating vessels under these conditions. Again, prove that it can be done if done correctly.
Well, Frank, how do you feel about, there is some anger towards your industry. There have been a lot of critical articles, not about with Norwegian Cruise really ever mentioned. But what do you think of that, given the fact that the bookings are so good?
Well, I think people are smarter than they're giving credit for. They understand the good from the bad, the wheat from the chaff, and we're benefiting from that. It's unfortunate that the industry had the missteps that it had early on, that it became front page news. The industry has become a bit of the punching bag and a poster child for the coronavirus, and we aim to turn the tide. And I'm very pleased that Norwegian was not involved in all that riffraff. And that's one of the reasons why we're faring as well as we are. One of the reasons why the investment community trusted us to invest $2.4 billion in our future, and why everyone should feel comfortable booking their next cruise with Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings.
Well, excellent. And once again, I did check the CDC numbers for our viewers, and Frank Del Rio and Norwegian Cruise did have the best percentage numbers by far. Thank you so much, Frank, for coming on Mad Money.
We'll see you soon, Jim.
All right, that's Frank Del Rio, President and CEO of Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. We did a ton of work on this, and I've got to tell you, I would go back on a cruise with Frank, and we were about to. Mad Money's back after the break.
Don't miss a second of Mad Money. Follow @Jim Cramer on Twitter. Have a question? Tweet Cramer. #MadTweets. Send Jim an email to madmoney@cnbc.com or give us a call at 1-800-743-CNBC. Miss something? Head to madmoney.cnbc.com.